Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now today we're going to be talking about XRP because we've seen a decent pullback in price. I mean, obviously we went from like 50 cents to almost $3 in the span of about a month, and since then we've pulled back about $1. We're sitting in kind of the low twos, from where we were sitting in the high twos. So obviously not like a huge pullback overall, but I did want to talk about kind of what's next, what could we be seeing kind of in the near future. I think at this point, it's probably fairly unlikely to say that we could be hitting $3 by the end of the year. Of course, anything is possible, but I would say, at least given the market that we're looking at right now, I would say hitting $3 by the end of 2024, very, very unlikely. But I do think hitting $3 by January, February, maybe even March, very, very likely and quite possible. I think hitting $3 within 2025 probably almost as guaranteed as you could get, but again, there are no guarantees in life. So anyway, I just want to talk a little bit about that, what we're seeing with XRP, all that type of stuff in this video. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive right in. So starting out, I did want to take a quick look at the overall market. We can see kind of a down day overall for kind of everything. We are seeing some exchange tokens actually doing quite well, in addition to GT and Pengu. A little bit interesting, BGB has been one that's been running like crazy. FTT's done quite well also. What we are seeing is XRP down just under 6% on the day, but as we can see based on the market, like this isn't anything particularly concerning. Several kind of down even a little bit more than XRP, and some even that are down less, like not too far less down. So I would say kind of as a market whole, the pullback's about 5%-ish. We can see overall, Jasmy, we talk about this frequently on the channel, down about 7.5%, ICP at 6.8, virtual 6.8. So, kind of a 5 to 8% pullback is I think mostly what we're seeing within the market. Now, going on and looking at the chart, we can see a couple of different interesting things here. So, of course, the first thing that we see is a really, really strong move to the upside, going from about 50 cents on the 4th of November to, what is this? $2.91 on the 3rd of December. So within 30 days, almost like a 300% move to the upside, which is absolutely insane. Since then, though, we have seen kind of a little bit of a I would maybe say like descending channel. It is looking like potentially a little bit of a wedge. We can see here that the line's kind of showing an upward trend, and then obviously the line's showing a bit of a downward trend here. If we were to pull some trend lines, it probably looks something a little bit like this, and then maybe a little bit like that, I suppose. It might even be a little bit more shallow than probably something like that. So we are seeing the possibility of a wedge. We are kind of getting towards the end of that. And, looking at kind of the dates here, 6th, 7th of January is kind of like the very, very, very tip of that wedge. So prior to then, we could see either a break to the upside or a break to the downside. I do think probably the two most likely options, at least in my opinion, could be a potential further pullback down to this like $1.50 range. This would be about a 50% pullback from the recent highs. This is something that is very, very possible and sometimes even standard in the crypto space, just based on kind of how different crypto projects are doing. Given the fact that XRP is held so strongly, I think this is probably maybe less likely, but I still think very, very possible. From here, given that we are seeing a little bit of a wedge forming here, I think it's possible that we could see a break to the upside and could be potentially taking shots at new all-time highs here, which obviously would be kind of looking at that $3 range. If we were to see that again, maybe by the end of the year, but more likely kind of the very beginning of next year is when we'd be seeing that based on what we're seeing with this wedge. Again, we are settling on this level of support here at kind of about the $2.17 range. We have another support down here at about the $2 even range. So it is possible that maybe we see, some falling down into like the low twos. Maybe we bounce off this trend line. If we were to see something like that, then I would say it probably just adds to the argument that we could potentially be forming into this wedge and we could be seeing a break over the next couple days, maybe weeks, something like that. So anyway, that's kind of what we're seeing here on the XRP chart. If you are looking to trade XRP, Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin, anything for that matter, feel free to use my link in the description below. In addition to the standard bonuses of up to $10,055 per user, they are doing 10% bonuses on first-time deposits. This is something that is unique and special, basically only if you use my link in the description below. So if you are looking for a new place to trade, or maybe even just diversify the exchanges that you're using to trade, feel free to use my link because you can get that 10% bonus on first-time deposits, which in my opinion is a really, really good thing to see. They've been around for over 13 years, so they're not one of those like here today, gone tomorrow type of exchanges. So definitely like a pretty good thing if that's something that you're interested in. Also 300 plus crypto futures. So if there's something that you're wanting to trade, they probably have it if I had to guess. But overall, they've got a massive selection of different things that you can trade. Also up to 500x leverage. Again, I would strongly discourage you using this level of leverage just because in my opinion, it's basically like gambling. But if you have some sort of strategy or I don't know, something that like like, I guess you just want to gamble, they do have that ability if that's something you're looking for. But really anything above 10 to 20x, you really should know what you're doing. And frankly, anything leverage at all, you should really know what you're doing, just because leverage can be super risky. So also no VPN or KYC necessary if this is something that you're interested in. So like I said, if you are interested looking for a new exchange or maybe a secondary exchange, whatever, just feel free to use the link in the description below and go on ahead and get signed up. Now, moving on, I want to take a look at the CoinGecko chart because there's a couple of things I want to take a look at specifically. The first one being obviously market cap, 122 billion, which obviously an astronomical move to the upside from what we saw even just a couple months back. But even more importantly, we can see the fully diluted valuation at over 200 billion. So very high. This would very firmly put XRP in the like third place category with this type of fully diluted valuation, only behind Ethereum and Bitcoin. We can see right now they are in the number 4, I think only behind USDT. So again, a stable coin, not really like a true crypto. So you could say they're like number 3 in terms of like all cryptos, not including stable coins. But the most important thing that I wanted to focus on here is because we can see that, you know, almost 50% dilution still to come from the XRP team. Now that's a lot, and obviously it's going to have a fairly negative impact on price pressure just because of all the extra XRP being unlocked. However, and again, you can look at this as either a positive or a negative, but XRP is very centralized in terms of like the control of the XRP tokens. And so they have a lot of control of, you know, when they want to release them, how they want to release them. They're essentially like selling these tokens to institutions is mainly what this XRP supply is for. And so this is something where, you know, it's definitely like since they have so much control, they can, you know, change the rules in ways that make it least impactful on the price. And so, you know, again, in my opinion, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Obviously, the level of like centralization and control, not really a great thing to see. But from this type of perspective, you can at least feel somewhat confident they're not going to be dumping XRP tokens or something on the market and it's going to collapse price. They obviously have a lot of control over how that happens. And of course, if they're looking to get institutions involved, they are going to want to show that they can keep price relatively stable because that's what they're going to be trading in and out of. So, you know, definitely something that's very important to take a look at as well. Now, moving on, one other thing that I wanted to bring up with XRP is the deflation, because a lot of people bring up the deflation mechanics and how that this could, you know, essentially help, you know, negate some of the fully diluted valuation. And at least from what I've seen so far, the deflation mechanics are basically negligible. There's like 100 billion XRP tokens in total circulation. We can see there's 100 billion XRP tokens of max supply, but 99.986 billion of them are still remaining. So basically, I think it's like 13 or 14 million tokens have actually been burnt. So not at all a meaningful level of deflationary mechanics on the XRP chart. So this fully diluted valuation is going to very heavily impact kind of how the inflation of the XRP token goes, as well as it's super important because they've talked about how a lot of these tokens, they're going to be releasing about 1 billion a month onto the market up until essentially, I think it's the next 5 years or 55 months, something like that. And so with that, I mean, obviously that's a very like heavy amount of supply coming into circulation over the next 5 years. Now, obviously this may be kind of, you know, the impact might be lessened because they're selling to institutions, and again, they have a lot of control over who they're selling to. But again, that's a ton of inflation on the overall supply that, you know, could really negatively impact price. Now, one thing to consider though is it doesn't seem like they've actually been able to sell all of the XRP every month, and so the remainder does go back into the escrow wallet, which means is probably going to be inflating for longer, but at a less dramatic pace. So again, kind of like a silver lining there. But overall, I mean, this with XRP, this isn't something, just given the like highly controlled nature, is not something I'm super concerned about, but it is something that we should all definitely at least just be aware of. So anyway, hopefully you found the information in this video useful. If you did, please do give me a like and subscribe because it really does help. Also, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything like that, just drop those in the comment section below. I do try to read and respond to all of those. So if you have something you want me to see, that'd be a great way to do it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.